Let's just talk about leads and what they're used for. Job 1, get the bait into the pond where you want it to be. Job 2, hook the fish. After that, don't necessarily need them. But there's a lot more to leads than just that, and there's a lot of engineering goes into these little cuties. So let's have a look at one of my particular favourites first. We'll start off with this one. It's called a groove lead. Reason is fairly obvious. There's a groove up the middle. It's an inline shape, and you can fish it standard inline with your line, your lead core, your tubing through the middle, or alternatively, you can put it outline, and that groove there allows whatever material you're using to sit in it nice and neatly. The way these things work is obviously pop them on. As soon as pressure is applied, the lead will pop out of the one end. It's attached then just with the rubber at the other. That will fall off, and you've got a nice easy system to get the fish up in the water once it's discharged the lead. This one, similar system, but you'll notice that the groove goes all the way through. Now this has two advantages. Firstly, the whole inline system acts like a quick release bead. They've been engineered so the amount of tension that pulls on the one end is equivalent to the tail rubber popping off at the other. So depending on how tight you want it, you can push your tail rubber on a long way or just a short way, and it will fall off either as quickly or as late as you want it to. You'll notice on the tail rubber itself there's a groove, and that is for tying it up with a bit of PVA tape just for the cast, so you can make sure that it's dead secure for the cast, but once it's in the water that slackens off and that thing will pop off nice and easy. In addition to that, of course, save snipping your line when you want to change your lead, pop that out, slide it off the line, you can stick another one and set the thing back up again. So very, very easy to use. And now I'll come on to one of Finchy's favourites. He's a bit of a master with the old PVA bag, and this is a specially designed bag lead. Now there's boatloads of engineering went into this one. It isn't just a normal lead. For a start, you'll see the profile is very low and very flat. A lot of the time when you fish in a bag, your bait is going to end up quite close to the lead. If your hook link is short like that, it's going to be there. Even if you've got a longer hook link, gravity says that the bait is going to fall by the side of the lead, so the profile of this keeps it nice and low. It grips the bottom an awful lot for a flat lead as well, because it isn't actually flat. There's a bit of a concave dip on either side, and that means that it grips the bottom and won't move around that much. Colour-wise, real nice little colour, and the coating is quite grippy as well, so you don't get any slippage along the bottom. Works as an inline lead, and you may have noticed when I'm turning it over that there's a hole in the side. That is an absolutely fantastic little piece of information. Very, very simple, very easy. Get yourself a nugget of foam, twist the end of it, pop it in there. If you're then putting this into a bag with a load of soft bits in it, your hook point might catch up, and obviously if it tucks into a boilie or something, you're not going to be able to get a hook up on the fish. Put that foam on, pop the hook point on there, and that ensures that your hook point is nice and clean. Additionally, you can do that, chop it down a little bit for flight, but if you cast out with one of those in there and don't use it as a bag lead, that will prevent tangles. It's a brilliant innovation for getting around tangles. Let's move on now to the swivel leads. This is the dumpy swivel lead, virtually the same shape as the inline. It's got that concave groove on it, grips the bottom very nicely, and for a swivel lead you do pick up the whole weight of the lead very, very quickly with it. You'll notice the swivel is coated in the same sort of coating as well. It's very matte, doesn't shine at all, and does look great underwater. And then if distance is your thing, we'll go on to the final one, which is, on first examination, a fairly straightforward, simple swivel distance lead. But this is the key on it. It's been made so it's slightly elliptical, a bit like a plane wing in flight. So it flies very straight, very true, but the practicalities from a fishing side of things is when it's lying on the bottom, it doesn't roll around as much because the profile isn't round. It's got that flat bit on, so it grips a bit more. Let's have a look at the end of it. It's got a flat bit there. That's come from the sea angling world. What it means is that in flight, that flat spot creates a void of air behind it, so there's not so much turbulence. As a result, the swivel isn't going to bob around so much, and you're going to get less tangles if you're casting long distance with this. So across the whole range you can see that a lead isn't just a lead. There's a lot of thought goes into it, and they really are actually quite fine pieces of kit.